We waited a long time for this game, and don't get me wrong, the core of the game is an incredible amount of fun. I love repulsing people off the map. I love the core gameplay and the majority of the maps, but I'm well and truly in such a deep sense of and feeling of frustration both with 343 and this game, and I went in with my expectations tempered at the launch of this game. We went in with concessions that we knew that co-op and Forge and other fundamental parts of the game were not going to be there, and now I feel like myself and the majority of the community is now in the gutter as a result of it. So normally I do try my best to balance my views between community, the developers, and my own views personally. And trust me, I'm going to try my best to do this in this video, but honestly, I want to give you my raw feelings and how we are in this awful situation in the first place, what 343 need to do to fix this, and honestly, I think it's going to take a lot of work. And if I'm being honest, I've never been so down on Halo. I felt more optimistic in the MCC days and in the Halo 5 days, and God, man, it's a bad situation overall, if you ask me. So, look, if you enjoy Halo content from people who gambled and took a sabbatical from their job to make Halo content and now the content's failing, make sure you subscribe and, yeah, enjoy the video.
Ultimate Halo.
By the way, guys, go to the description down below. I'm doing a Halo Infinite 2v2 tournament. There's a $1,000 prize pool. It's on the 6th of March. Make sure you go sign up. I'm excited for you guys to win some free money. There's no cost for entering, and good luck. Okay, so let's just go straight into this. Look, Halo Infinite is supposed to be a live service game, but none of this so far has said live service. Now, live service by definition is something that you add content to over the time progressively and, enrich the game and the community and grow it as a result. But the thing is, the things we've had so far have been day one patches. There have been maintenance fixes, not live service content. Live service content, some people might argue, to play devil's advocate, that, well, look, we've got all these events coming in and stuff like that, and Tenrai and Cyber Showdown, and whilst they are cool, and I think maybe they need fleshing out a little bit more personally, what part of these, these were already there. These files existed in the game. You, in theory, could have put this in on day one. I didn't necessarily expect new maps straight away, but I expected communication on new maps, new features, new weapons, new skins, new whatever, Forge, co-op, and we're still here. It's 1st of March 2022. This game came out in November on the multiplayer side, and we've had nothing substantial in terms of where this game is going in the future. And look, Joe Staten said on February 1st that they still need time to work on it. They said in November that in January we will get a year-long update. Where is this update? Now, okay, this is where we sort of balance things out and I sort of pull myself back on my own emotions. And look, I get things have probably changed quite substantially internally within the studio. I think personally, and this is with no insight, this is just my personal belief, that their plans have shifted quite drastically. I think they didn't expect certain features such as BTB not to work to the extent that they didn't. There's a lot of optimization work that needs to be done on the PC side of things, because this game, even though it runs well on my rig, I have a powerful PC, but I can't do anything else on my PC whilst I'm playing this game. It uses up far too many system resources, and honestly, it's not great. I think the whole situation with postums the other day kind of made things worse, and I'm not going to go too much into that, but I think that kind of uprooted a lot of the negative feelings a lot of fans are having towards 343 at the moment. And don't get me wrong, don't read my words incorrectly. I still do love a lot of the people, well, I do love all the people I've met from 343. I don't personally have any negative personal experiences. I think they're all great. If you actually speak to these people, you know how much they love Halo. They love it just as much, if not more, than we do. But things sometimes internally goes wrong. I know there have been a lot of talks about management, and whilst there aren't any substantive sort of arguments around that, look, there's definitely some points to be made here. But one thing I do want to really go in on as well, and just make very clear, a lot of people have been talking about communication being the way it has. But what I want to say to you as fans, if you were a studio who's just released a game that you want to get people to play, why would you come out and admit that the game's in not a very good technical position? So would you admit that your game is subpar in terms of a technical quality? Would you admit that it's had a tough development cycle? Would you admit that there have been management issues? It paints a bad picture of a game you've just released and you want people to spend their hard-earned money on. It's like saying, sure, it might have needed 6 to 12 months in the oven extra, but fuck it, give us your money anyway. You just wouldn't say that. So, of course, fair enough to 343. They have acknowledged all issues in terms of a technical front, I believe, except for PC optimization. And I believe that some fans think that 343 don't know what's going on, and that's absolutely not the case. Look, the community team's always on it. They're feeding back to key stakeholders within the studio and Microsoft as well. And look, they know exactly what's wrong with this game. It's all about planning and making sure this game gets back on track. Planning stuff isn't as simple, especially with video games, because there are so many variables at play, but they need to then shift their plans, manage people, resources, have reasonable expectations for the community. And look, I think the communication in terms of the tonality, with the exception of the Paul Postums thing the other day, has been pretty good so far. I think Joe Staten's done a very good job of just being, look, we need more time. But how much time does this is it going to have to take? I know that the fans do not want a half-baked update or a roadmap, but honestly, this game is being hung out to dry, and a lot of people have put a lot on the line for this game. There are so many creatives wanting to do more, but they just can't because there's nothing to work with. So, can 343 turn this around? I think that they can, but it's going to take a lot of work. They need some big features. Forge needs to come out of the gate swinging. I don't just mean like a basic Forge mode. It needs to be some next level shit. And some of the stuff we're seeing thus far is great. And I've always been on the fence about this, but seeing how this game has launched and what it's done for other franchises, I am going to put my hat in the ring and say it doesn't need it, but I think it would do a hell of a world of good to do a battle royale for Halo Infinite. Okay, look, I think you all understand that this video's probably been the most emotive I've done in a while, and I've still tried to temper myself, and honestly that was more difficult to do than I thought. But I'm in a really bad spot with this. It's obviously hurt my YouTube channel. I think I've probably underestimated what I could do with the limited content we were going to have at launch. And I'm going to go hard on custom games. I think there's a lot of room in Forge and custom games when this game comes out. And I'm immensely excited for that. But, guys, I want you just to put in the comment section down below, what's just your raw thoughts and feelings towards this game at the minute? How much are you playing it? Are you annoyed? What do you expect? What are your expectations? And what do you expect to come from 343 in this roadmap? If we ever get it at this rate, it feels like it's never going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. But anyway, once again, my name is Jack Fletcher. I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.